Hello and welcome to Mitv News Update. I am Tuesday. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has reiterated his commitment towards improved livelihood of Nigerians, saying it remains a top priority of his administration. Now, people-focused economic policies, assuring that the national minimum wage will be reviewed to reflect realities. The president, who received members of the Progressive Governors Forum (PGF) led by the chairman, Governor Obuzodinma of Imo State, asked the state cap to serve the national and subnational government to work together on the minimum wage, which already requires what is described as soul searching. President Tinubu urged also the governors to seize the opportunity of being chosen among millions of citizens in this state to make a difference in the lives of people, adding that he will ensure to work for the benefit of Nigerians. The Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, called on the governors to rally around the president as he tackles the challenges that stagnate the economy, like the oil subsidy and multiple exchange rates. Earlier, the governor of Imo State pledged the support of the progressive governors to the president, noting that the initial decisions already foretell good intentions for their economy. The governor of the state, Professor Babagana Umara Zulu, and his Lagos State counterpart, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, said the development of the national and subnational economies remain interwoven, assuring that President Tinubu will receive their support to succeed.
But we have to push on, we have to make the decision that affects all of us. Are you, as progressive thinkers, philosophers, under the umbrella of our party, has a very serious role to play in educating the people and making sure that we manage ourselves? One, I will take the opportunity to appeal to you on the question, on the leadership of the National Assembly. Maybe get a committee to see the Senate President. So that if there are areas, of conflict or inadequacies, then from there, collaborative leadership can straighten it out, can negotiate, and make a deal, and get the stability that is.
So there is a need for us to really rally around this beautiful decision by the president, because it's for the good of our economy. Our economy is in a very, very bad shape. We either get rid of the oil subsidy or the oil subsidy gets rid of the Nigerian nation. That's how bad things are. So I just want to reiterate that let us rally around Mr. President. Let us not budge. Let us be resilient. Let us stand our ground and see that these two decisions, the collapse of the multiple exchange rates that has fueled a parallel market of corruption, and the fuel subsidy scam.
The actions taken by you so far for our economic recovery, for the strengthening of national security, are very salutary. We stand firmly with you on this. As members of a political family which you are the head, we are also here to reassure you of our unalloyed loyalty as you move to consolidate on the APC programs and policies.
Excellency, sir, the growth and development of the nation's economy is critical to the well-being of the subnational governments. Deepening internal democracy is key to peace building and social cohesion. Therefore, Your Excellency, as progressive governors, we must key into your vision and mission, and we shall provide our total commitment and loyalty for the central government to succeed under your leadership.
Let your leadership prowess that you bring everything to bear. What this audience is promising you, sir, is you have a total unalloyed commitment and loyalty to work with you, to work with your government, and to ensure that we will do everything within our means for you to succeed, for your government to succeed, and for Nigeria to succeed. Your Excellency, it is a commitment that we have all resolved to pass on to you and to assure you that we will do everything within our own means, God helping us, that it will be one of the best times that we'll have in this country.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has announced the appointment of Speaker of House of Representatives, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, as Chief of Staff, and Senator Ibrahim Azan Abdejia, former Deputy Governor of Jigawa State, as Deputy Chief of Staff. This was made known in a statement issued on Friday by the Villa Director of Information, Abiodun Oladunjoye, following a meeting President Tinubu held with Progressive Governors Forum at Presidential Villa, Abuja. In the statement, the president also named former governor of Benue State and immediate past minister of special duties, George Akume, and secretary to the government of the Federation, SGF. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu is currently holding a closed-door meeting with James Ibori, former governor of Delta State. He is some wicked immediate past governor of Rivers State, and Seyi Makinde, their Oyo State governor. The meeting has taken place at the president's office in Aso Villa. Report says the three politicians arrived at the Aso Rock Villa at about 4:20 p.m. on Friday, 2nd June 2023. The Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) has given the federal government 5-day ultimatum to reverse the price of petrol or face a total nationwide strike. The president of the union, Comrade Ajaero, disclosed on Friday in Abuja after an emergency meeting of the NLC National Executive Council. It said that it has directed all state affiliates of the union to start mobilizing for the murder of all strikes if the NNPC and federal government refuse to reverse the price by next week, Wednesday. It also called for proper investigation on the process of subsidy, adding that the fraudulent practices in the subsidy regime should not go without being probed.
A private limited liability company that illegally announced the price regime in the oil sector refuses to revert itself for negotiation to continue, that the Nigerian Labour Congress and all its affiliates will withdraw their services and commence protests nationwide until this is complied with, and that NNPC doesn't have the monopoly to act illegally, even as a private company. The NLC NEC therefore directed all state councils and all industrial unions to commence mobilization from this moment to make sure that this action is enforced. Thank you.
Meanwhile, the Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, Meleki Ari, is optimistic that the fuel queues across the country will be a thing of the past in the next 2 days. During the inaugural speech, President Bola Tinubu said the era of subsidy payment on fuel has ended, a move that led to a hike in price across the nation. Fuel queues also resurfaced across the country as Nigerians forage for the premium products, which rose from around 185 per litre to between 400 naira and 600 naira per litre. In an interview with newsmen, Kyari assured Nigerians that the situation won't last, while stating that there are over 810 million liters of petroleum in depot, tanks, and fuel stations across the country. Kyari revealed that the administration of President Bola Tinubu has concluded an arrangement to have one of the 4 refineries repaired and operating at an optimal level before the end of the year. The election petition of the Allied People's Movement, APM, against the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, All Progressive Congress, APC, and President Bola Tinubu has been adjourned till Friday, June 9. The tribunal had adjourned at the last sitting to enable parties obtain copies of the judgment in a similar matter of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, versus the APC and Tinubu, which the respondent in this matter say have been thoroughly dealt with. The party was in court for proceeding on a suit challenging the February 25th election of Tinubu and Vice President Kashim Shettima. The matter was adjourned again Friday on the ground that the councils have not been able to obtain copies of the Supreme Court's judgment referred to here. The APM and its petition contends that the withdrawal of Mr. Ibrahim Masari, who was initially nominated as the vice presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress APC, invalidated Tinubu's candidacy in view of Section 131 subsection C and 142 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. The state government and other stakeholders have agreed to set up an interim management team to oversee the affairs of the transport system in the state for the next 3 months. This development and many more were agreements reached at the end of a stakeholders meeting held in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. Part of topmost on the mind of organizers of this event is the need to design an all-inclusive park management system devoid of thuggery and brigandage. Since the dissolution of the disciplinary committee, the state's transport sector had witnessed recurrent clashes in part of the ancient city.
Government is now doing, or your state government is very laudable, and if it is not politicized, will go a long way to bring sanity among different associations. They will be able to interact well, and passengers traveling will also have easy passage wherever they are going.
We're seeing Geogbe sitting together, because before, if they hear about one another afar, they won't be running as a skater. And you can't find a peaceful situation like that. It never used to happen like this. Because before, for them to gather like this and you don't hear any gunshots, you must be very lucky. So it's something unusual. And that means nobody gets into the position of authority without the hands of God. So it will keep you, that's my understanding.
To avoid public disturbance, government should have a succession plan for the park management system operators in the state. Government should provide the security apparatus for the operations of the committee. Majorly, all stakeholders have agreed to work together peacefully as a team. Finally, everyone appreciates His Excellency Engineer Dr. Olushayi Abiodun Makinde for his efforts to make our state a better place to live in and make business.